Hi everyone and welcome to DearDharmaDude. My name is Vivian and I'm with the Venerable Master Hen Chang and my dear friend Johnny. So Johnny, do you have any questions for the Master?
Yes. When I was in high school, I was trained as a peer mediator, which what I do is basically if there's disputes or if just personal issues, the counselor will assign the student to me. And they think it's more effective if a peer talks to in a peer-to-peer level to work issues out. However, an issue that we were not trained to handle is teen suicides. And
you mean there's actually the teen, your peers come to you and said, well, I want to commit suicide?
They don't say it like that, but if I sense there's a hint of it, like I'm really depressed, I don't know what to do, you know, and just risky behavior, I have to report it right away. So, but that's not really handling it. So, with teen suicide at such alarming rate now in the United States, it's I come across these cases.
What is the percentage now you have found?
I don't have the exact statistics, but they are pretty high.
Pretty high. High is how much?
Like 10, 15, 5?
I can't believe it. So 10, 15?
Well, 10 is 1 out of every 10 kids, so...
Yeah.
How high?
I think I remember hearing like at least 1 out of 10 has thought about it.
Had thought about it. Wow. Thought about it.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
So I guess my question is, if you notice your friend or like have signs of committing suicide, what's the proper response?
What are the emotions you detect from those people? You say they're depressing. What else are they show the signs before they get into that suicide act?
Forgive me for cutting in. I read an article like when they start giving away their really prized possessions, like they love their guitar and they just one day like, here, you have it, and then they stop caring about things that they once cared about, and they seem emotionally distant. I mean, obviously hand in hand with the depression, but I think there was like a whole list of like 10 different. When I was in high school, I knew 3 people that were my year that actually committed suicide, and it was just devastating that, and everyone blamed themselves for not being able to catch it. But I mean, it's one of those like, it's not like,
So do you think it's the personal point of view or the family? What is it called?
I think there's so many factors. I think that
so many factors,
social factors, like if they're like excluded or they feel, I mean, they're dejected. I mean, a girl can cause it, stress for college. There's so many factors, but
they get dumped,
all in all,
by
like
a girlfriend.
Yeah, like a true suicide threat though, or like a red light or whatever it is, the high alarm, is when there's just a sudden drop of any emotion. You know what I mean? Like they just one day they're nonchalant, but not even just nonchalant. They just like apathetic. I don't care about anything. They just like one day drop it. But I mean, with that said, a true suicide threat wouldn't actually leave a suicide note. You know what I mean? Because it's like I don't really want people to know. I just want to end it so that blah 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 blah.
So
I mean, not blah blah blah. Like
But the question is, if that's a personal because they lost direction in life, or they lost direction in thing, or they just simply because of a psychological shock, the boyfriend dumped her, so she get depressed. But what is it most likely you in your experience you have seen?
Well, from my experience in high school, because it's in high school, so it's not very like complete. Well, some of them do feel they lost direction, but most of them are sometimes it's stressed, but other times just
stress. It must be very high in order to
parental stress.
Yeah, but do you think it's another? This is my question. Do you think it's a sense of unlovable, don't get enough love, or lacking of love?
That's I kind of assume that.
Assume that, yeah.
But in some cases, it's just really bizarre. So I can't really say.
Bizarre, then we don't have.
It seems like their parents and them do love them, but they feel depressed for whatever reason. And
drug. Maybe?
Possibly.
Possibly. Okay. So we seem to look at a very wide range of variables here. So not only one cause, but many causes. Sometimes it's personal, very personal because point of view. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's peer pressures. It could be many, right? You're not having only one answer for you just said that. So this is difficult how to deal with it. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So in your experience, you have helped many, and you say that you didn't know how to handle it, the tendency to commit suicide, right? Now, if you pass it on to the supervisor, what do they do?
Well, they assign it to professional therapists.
Okay.
So that's out of my league.
So, and what is the real outcome? You haven't learned about the outcome?
Because it's confidential, I don't get any follow-ups.
Now, we have seen something that I don't know how to answer correctly or have the right answer for it, but I can see that teenagers, mean young boys and young girls, in the teen, obviously they need love. Obviously they need support. Obviously, if you have something, you have a very say emotional blockage, you want to come to somebody else who can understand and be able to open enough and take you in and give you emotional support and then give you guidance, right? Now if you don't have that, then maybe you'll be isolated and you think that the world is end on its own, and because of isolation all kind of problems can happen. So I don't know the reason why, but I can see a few ways that we can help. Number one is to, if you are a teen, then you should have what we call emotional support somewhere. And if you are parents, you should always try to have a bridge that the children can come and comfortably talk about their issues, right? But thinking about if the parents always scolding and punishing and talking down to the children, of course they wouldn't come to really open up. Okay, so in other words, the point of getting to maybe 2 more steps to get to be suicide, or maybe 2 more steps, that's still, I think, still salvageable, right? Salvage. But I think maybe we can work even further ahead by creating a family support. I think that's the biggest thing is the family support, because that can be controlled. I don't know about the friendship, we can control that, but family for sure can help and support and give the emotional stability. Now for the friends, all of us, we want to cultivate love as well, and sometimes we just didn't know how to cultivate as teenagers. We just simply confusedly, romantically fall in love and satisfy our sexual desire, and that may be it. Is not really get into a meaningful relationship and really have a rapport and get the emotional support from friends. So let's talk about it next time, right? Okay, it's a long topic.
So I think we should just discuss it next time then. Thank you, Johnny, for your really, really important question. Thank you, Master, for your wisdom. And see you guys next time. Bye.